Welcome back to our channel, Living on the Ohio River. Hi, I'm Carrie Hinshaw with Key Associates Signature Realty. If you're new to our channel, make sure you tap that subscribe button. And if you like the videos, give me a thumbs up. It helps me with the algorithm. So obviously I am a real estate agent in the local area. As much as I love to do these videos, I do love selling real estate. So if you are relocating to this area, reach out to me, call, text, email, whatever it takes. I'd be happy to help with you or someone on my team. So a fun topic I'm gonna talk about, because everyone asks me all the time as a real estate agent when I see them, is this market gonna crash? So I'm gonna do an interesting video here. I'm gonna give you the top 5 reasons the market could crash, and maybe even a rebuttal of why they will not crash. Because I have no crystal ball. I have no idea what this market's gonna do. I have experienced real estate during the last downturn, the last crash. So I do see signs, but there are different signs going on. So I'm gonna look at it from both sides. We're gonna look at the pluses and the minuses, what the experts think it's gonna do, that think it's not gonna crash, and what the people think that think it's gonna crash. So let's look at all angles and let's get into the data. The first thing that I would say why the market might crash is because of credit. We are at $1 trillion as a whole in the United States for the debt. The highest debt that we've ever seen. And this is not only homes, but credit cards, automobiles, everything. And that's absolutely nuts. So obviously there's something going on that we have so much credit going on, and that could be, my next thing is inflation. People are having the hardest time living now. Your grocery bills are crazy. Your gas is crazy. Not only that, just the cost of living as a whole. So people are definitely pulling back, but they're starting to live more on credit just for their daily living. They are not necessarily using credit for nice things like clothes or going to Target. They are living on credit for necessity now. So things look a little different, and that's gonna have to affect the housing market when you have less money to actually go do loans on, as well as down payments if you are not saving. Credit is my number one of the biggest things that we have, that credit is high. Now, one of the things as the top 5 to rebuttal this, they are talking about lending standards remaining strict compared to, we go back in the 2007. We had liar loans then, which we're talking about housing more. I think the difference this time is it's not all about housing loans. It's credit cards and up to 22% in interest that they're charging. And it's a whole different animal. Automobiles, people being able to afford and get to work. So it's not just about housing, it's about other credit sources and other credit building that causes issues here in this market. So I agree, lending standards remain strict. So from a housing crash, we are not gonna take the economy down like last time, but we definitely are not helping as a credit across the board in people sustaining living and being able to purchase these homes, especially as interest rates rise, which comes to my next thing. Interest rates. Interest rates have hit almost 8% and definitely changing the landscape of the buyers. Our buyers are kind of disappearing, and I know people say the inventory is low. We're at 3.3 months of supply across the United States. And that is great. Yes, that means it's still a seller's market, but we are climbing. We were less than 1 month if you go back within the year, and we're at 6 months means we're a balanced market. So if the buyers are disappearing and things are slowing down and the interest rates are climbing, and could they go higher, will the values stay? I don't know, it's a crystal ball. Right now, the August prices, we rose 3.9% in value. But if the buyers disappear and this continues, I don't think that the values can remain. Even if you look at our current MLS here in Indiana, you see price reduction, price reduction, price reduction. Things are changing. So it's definitely not the bidding wars completely like it was a year ago. People are putting the homes on the market like they thought that highest price was in the market, and they are starting to see price reductions. Just roll through your listings and you will see that. So will it change? I don't know, but definitely something is shifting. I actually looked at the stats for inventory just to see if it was climbing. And last year at this time in the month of August, we had month of September, we had about 2,613 homes on the market. Today, if we look at this month, it's 2,817. This is all of what we call the Indiana Regional MLS. So we're up 200 homes in inventory. That's not a big deal, but our inventory is climbing. So you got inventory climbing and you got price reductions. So you don't think this market's gonna change a little bit? I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just giving you the stats. So I think climbing interest rates are affecting us. Our values still are up. That is correct. But will it change? Looking at inventory, looking at days of supply, and looking at price changes, we could be around the corner with something that may look much different coming in January of 2024. So something to watch, but definitely an interesting statistics. So if you look at the people that say the market is not going to crash, they said inventory are still very low. The National Association of Realtors says there were a 3.3 month supply of homes in sale in August. Back in early 2022, that figure was a tiny 1.7 months of supply. This ongoing lack of inventory explains why many buyers will still have little choice but to bid up prices. We will see. I feel like, in different trenches, different states, we are seeing different activity. They also said builders didn't build quickly enough to meet demand. So that's another thing. But here locally, I'm starting to see builders reduce prices. So who is right? I don't know, but things are shifting is all I can say. Okay, my number 4, pre-foreclosures. They are roughly at about 34,000 for the United States, which is about 2% up from last year. Still nothing compared to 2007, 2008. I mean, we are nowhere near, but they're starting to creep up. And then one thing that I thought was interesting, since I am Indiana, I wanted to make a point. Indiana is number 9 of all of the states, 50 states, that you will see foreclosures happening. Right now, 1 out of 3,084 homes in Indiana are being foreclosed on today. And that basically is about, out of 2.9 units on the market, that's about 944 units being foreclosed on. So the only reason I looked at it, because I noticed, and there's some different cities that I'm gonna point out here, South Bend, Fort Wayne, and Indianapolis are definitely on the rise of seeing more foreclosures. Is it really big compared to what it was? No, it's not. But we are a state that is starting to see them. So it's interesting to watch that statistic, see what continues to happen in 2024. But Indiana is starting to see it and is one of the states that is a little bit higher compared to the rest. So another reason potentially why this market, maybe not crashing is the word, but definitely coming down. Okay, number 5, inventory. I kind of brought this up because, and I've kind of already addressed this through a lot of different things. We're at 3.3 months across the United States. We're about 200 homes different here locally in the Indiana IRMLS. And I think that you're going to potentially see this continue to go up. And the reason why I think that is because most people that are locked in at the 3% aren't moving. They're gonna stay in their 3%. They're not going to the 8% loan or the 7% loan. They're gonna stay right where they're at, which are mainly our trade ups. The biggest buyers that we got right now are first-time home buyers, maybe relocation, retirement with cash. And the problem with our first-time home buyers is the affordability has gotten so hard for them to buy a home. Between inflation, groceries, cars, and then these average prices of like $260 when they used to be $150 for our first-time home buyers, I just think it's harder for them to get in the market with these interest rates at the price that they are at. So I feel like the inventory is gonna creep up for the days on market because of the scenarios of who's buying, and the people that are buying, I think are gonna slow down just because of affordability and inflation. So, like I said, I don't know. We got the people that think the reason the market isn't gonna crash is because inventories are still very low. Builders didn't build quickly enough to meet demand. Demographic trends are creating new buyers. I agree with that. There's definitely your first-time home buyers, your millennials, They say Hispanics is a growing demographic that is building home ownership. Lending practices are more strict, and foreclosure activity is muted. I agree that it's not muted, but it is picking up. Not anywhere near 2007. My reasons, potentially, just to rebuttal this a little bit, not to say that it's gonna happen, but let's look at both sides of the housing market. Credit, again, I'm reiterating, is at $1 trillion in the United States in debt. Absolutely nuts. Inflation, the highest we've ever seen. Affordability, just to live, is almost becoming unbearable for some people, where they're gonna have to get into credit or do other means to get that money. And that's just to live. Interest rates climbing and affecting the buyers coming out, which makes the inventory start to creep up, as well as price reductions starting to take place. Pre-foreclosures, again, in the US, they're not huge, but Indiana, we're number 9. So something to look at for our state specifically. And inventory, again, creeping up, and we will see what happens in 2024. Like I said, I hope the market stays pretty stable. I'm a real estate agent, I wanna sell homes, but I'm looking at the pluses and the minuses from both sides on what this market's going to do. So I would love your comments. What do you think this market's gonna do? Let me know your thoughts, put the comments below. And if you love this video, give me a thumbs up again. So until next time, see you then.
We open doors in realty. Key Associates. Key Associates.